Let's discuss how can we evaluate that processes are implemented effectively and achieving intended outcomes by setting performance indicators, conducting inspections, and audits. Let's discuss how can we evaluate that processes are implemented effectively and achieving intended results by setting performance indicators, conducting inspections, and audits. Performance indicators are vital in a management system. The question that you should ask yourself is, what do I need to measure to know that my processes are performing as expected? Examples of performance indicators are customer satisfaction level, number of non-conformances, price of non-conformance, number of accidents, among others. You need to determine as an organization what data are you interested to know on a monthly, quarterly, 6-monthly, and annual basis that will allow you to take action as required. Inspections. The inspection process generally uses visual inspection, gathering information by identifying hazards, assessing the use and effectiveness of existing control measures, and suggesting remedial action where the current measures are inadequate. Inspections usually focus on a single item or process. Workplace inspections can be carried out by managers, supervisors, safety reps, and operatives. The use of a checklist can make it an easier activity. The checklist can be used as a prompt, but always remain vigilant. Now, audits are a systematic, independent, and documented process for obtaining evidence and evaluating it objectively to determine the extent to which a given criteria is fulfilled. The process of auditing relies on 3 types of evidence being analyzed. Documents, reviewing procedures, manuals, and records. Testimony, carrying out interviews on a cross-section of personnel. And visual, from a workplace walk-around. ISO 9011, 2018, ISO 19011-2018 guidelines for auditing management systems describe the principles of auditing, managing an audit program, and conducting management system audits. ISO 19011-2018 guidelines for auditing management systems describe the principles of auditing, managing and auditing an audit program, and conducting management system audits. Internal audits are also called first-party audits. These are conducted by the organization itself or on its behalf for management review and other internal purposes. They confirm the effectiveness of the management system and obtain information to improve the management system. External audits could be second-party audits are conducted in suppliers, premises to pre-qualify them, verify their capabilities and systems and conformance to your organizational requirements, and third-party audits that evaluate conformity to a specific standard or a given criteria, for example, ISO 9001. Principles of auditing. Integrity. Auditors and the person managing the audit program should perform the work with honesty, diligence, and responsibility, and perform their work in an impartial manner. Fair presentation. Auditors are obliged to report truthfully and accurately. Audit findings, conclusions, and reports should only reflect the audit activities objectively, timely, clear, and complete. Due professional care. Auditors should exercise due care in accordance with the importance of the task they perform and the confidence placed in them by the audit client, customer, and other interested parties. Confidentiality. Auditors should exercise discretion in the use of and protection of information acquired in the course of their duties. Audit information should not be used inappropriately for personal gain by the auditor or the audit client. or in a manner that is detrimental to interested parties. Independence. Auditors should be independent of the activity being audited, where practicable, and should in all cases act in a manner that is free from bias and a conflict of interest. Establishing an audit program according to the context and the scope of your management system. You should appoint an audit program responsible person to ensure that objectives are assigned and achieved. The extent of the audit program should be based on the size and the nature of the organization. Priority should be given to audit those processes that affect the quality of the product or service and significantly affect health, safety, and environmental performance. This is called risk-based auditing. When implementing the audit program, ensure that you communicate the objectives and the scope to all interested parties. Coordinate and schedule the audit in conjunction with the interested parties to ensure that they are available and that the activities and tasks that you plan to observe are performed during your audit. Select an audit team and ensure the competency of these auditors. Appoint competent auditors, including technical experts, as required. Define who will audit. Is it a team, individual? If it's a team, make sure you appoint a lead auditor. Consider the scope and criteria of the audit, complexity of the audit, methods, and the need to ensure the independence of the audit team's members from the activities being audited. Provide necessary resources and prepare the audit plan. Ensure that you're conducting the audit as per the program, and then provide a progress report, actual versus plan, to top management, and monitor the audit program regularly. You need to record and document all the audit activities so that you can show evidence to your external auditor. Performing an audit. An audit should start with a meeting of the process owner to make sure that the audit plan is fully understood. Then there are many avenues for the auditor to gather information during the audit. Reviewing records, documentation, talking to employees, analyzing key process data, or even observing the process in action. The focus of this activity is to gather evidence that the process is functioning as planned in the management system and is effective in producing the required results. During the audit, you will collect and verify the information, and then you will be able to generate your audit findings, preparing audit conclusions and presenting them to the process owners and top management during a closing meeting. Then, after the audit has been finalized, you need to prepare and distribute the audit report. Ideally, this should be completed within 2 weeks of conducting the audit. Applying a process approach to auditing. Audits conducted with a process approach provide information on whether performance targets are being met. They identify opportunities for improving performance through a better control of processes and determine how processes can be more effective and efficient in meeting the applicable requirements. Applying the process approach to audit ensures that you're focusing on results, not on procedures. The process approach to audit focuses on reviewing the sequence and interaction of processes and their inputs and outputs. It analyzes the management system not just as if it were a set of documented procedures, but rather as an active system of processes that addresses business risk and its applicable requirements. During the audit, examine process intent, implementation, and effectiveness. First, ask yourself, have you said what you do? Do they define or document processes adequately? Secondly, the implementation side. Have you done what you said that you were going to do? Do the observed and recorded practices show conformance with the state intent? Effectiveness. Have you done it well? Do the results of the process indicate that the desired outcomes have been achieved? During the audit, don't be afraid to challenge and prove or follow an audit trail to see where it leads you. Use the 5 whys: what, why, when, where, who, how, show, and open questions to get information. Use closed questions to get approval and summarize. Listen, let the auditees do most of the talking. You just receive the information, gather the data and information to then be able to draw audit conclusions. At the end of the audit, you need to consolidate your findings, to write the audit report and present the results to top management and agree actions. Then you will need to follow up on those corrective actions to completion. And then the continual improvement cycle starts all over again.